Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to thank the gentlelady from Minnesota for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, H.R. 1449, the Committing Leases for Energy Access Now Act, enforces unreasonable deadlines on geothermal energy permitting that shuts the public out of the process so my colleagues on the other side can do their favorite thing, shut out the American people and rush things through in a way that could harm the environment and hurt the public safety. That's what they're good at. The second bill is the so-called Stop Terror Financing and Tax Penalties on American Hostages Act. Mr. Speaker, I think we can all agree that families who are held hostage shouldn't be responsible for paying IRS fines or penalties. I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. I think, in fact, I know that it has already passed the Senate. We could take up that bill and pass it today, send it right to the President's desk. Or we could pass a House bill that's been introduced, which would do the same thing, ensure that hostage victims don't get charged IRS fines. If my friends had brought either of those bills up, they could be sent to the President's desk and signed very, very quickly, as I said. But that's not what we're doing, and that's not what we're voting on, because this bill, the one they're bringing up, has been hijacked and turned into a vehicle to give the incoming administration the ability to revoke the nonprofit status of any advocacy group they want, simply by labeling them as terrorist sympathizers. So that means the President will acquire the power to just unilaterally accuse an American group of terrorism and then shut them down. Now, I have to tell you, I just came back from a Codel in El Salvador. That's how they do things down there. The government doesn't like you, boom, you're a terrorist. But I'm sure the party that talks so much about weaponizing the government, that talks so much about reining in the federal government, that they have put some guardrails in here, right? Wrong. There are no guardrails. No guardrails for an administration that says it will go after the enemy within. Just a bill that gives them the power to do it on day one. This is nuts. A university has too many protests against Donald Trump. Terrorists. Environmental group suing the administration in court. Terrorists. Think tanks that think differently than Donald Trump. Terrorists. That's what this bill does. People say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, Mr. Speaker, the road to fascism in America is paved with 1 million little votes that slowly erode our democracy and make it easier to go after anyone who disagrees with the government. No due process or right to appeal on this bill. No proof required. Donald Trump says you're a terrorist, so you're a terrorist. It's beyond nuts, and my friends on the other side of the aisle know that even if they don't want to admit it. So, Mr. Speaker, I strongly urge a no vote on this rule and on the underlying legislation, and I reserve my time.
The gentleman reserves. The gentlelady